I'm not telling you that your religion is wrong. I'm just telling you that subscribing to it creates limitations and barriers. And if you really want to get to a point of personal freedom and exploration, then you have to start questioning whether or not you actually believe the things that you believe. Because for me, I'm a better Christian now than I ever was when I was a Christian. Like if I look at my moral compass and how I live my life and my sinning versus not sinning, my goodness, I am way more morally ethical now than I ever was as a Christian. And the reason why is, see, I didn't believe that shit. See, I didn't believe in all of the rules of the Bible. I didn't believe in, especially like all the way down to the sexuality. That's low hanging fruit. We've already been talking about that. The Bible teaches you that from the moment that you're born, that you are a imperfect being, that you were born into sin, that you were born, that you're the flesh is his death, and that you are sin. And the only way to get out of this corruption is through the grace and the salvation of Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That essentially, unless this divine being who created you imperfectly can swoop in behind it and then give you enough grace to make you whole, that then and only then are you worthwhile as a person. Ooh, well, that doesn't make you feel very good about who you are. Now it already puts you in this subjective space where you feel like something's wrong with you, like you're just not okay. I am always imperfect. I am always terrible. I can never be good enough. The only way I can be good enough is if I give this space for this other hierarchical being outside of myself that I've given all this power and all this authority to make me enough. Well, that's a problem. And then they tell you all the way down to like your basic needs, like sexuality. Now, I think we have a lot of issues with sexuality. In fact, we have this spiritual prudedness that comes over here, and then we have this societal outrageousness that's over here with the sex addiction and pornography and all this. There's a center, people. There's a balance of healthy sexuality that exists that like nobody is talking about, that I do think we need to get to. But when you look at the religious side of that, then they are putting all of this space. And so it's like, well, obviously I didn't subscribe to that. I was a pastor and a porn addict. I was watching porn 20, 30 hours a week. I was constantly objectifying women. I was picturing every woman that I see naked. I couldn't even go through a sermon or be in a church without seeing a woman wearing something form-fitting that I thought was attractive without sexualizing her in a pew. But don't you worry, I prayed for forgiveness for that. Okay? God forgave me. I was struggling, you see, because I can't do anything about it because I was created this way. It's not my fault. I'm a sinner. I'm
Mhm.
imperfect. I can't stop myself from doing these things. It sounds like an excuse and victimization and then justification. Where without that, then who creates my thoughts? I do. Where does my self-responsibility come from? Me. Who determines my morality? Me. Why do I work on not objectifying women? And I'm not saying that I'm not perfect in this space. I struggle in this space still because my natural instinct is to objectify someone. I pull up at Dutch Brothers and there's some very young, attractive women there making my coffee. There's a part of my brain still that wants to look. But then this other part goes, no, how does that make them feel? Did they ask for that sexualization today? They're just at work doing their job. They're not asking for me to sexualize them. It is not appropriate for me to sexualize them in this space. I am in charge of myself. I am a sovereign being. It is my job in that moment to make sure that my behaviors are appropriate, not just for me, but for the protection of the people that are in my space, because they didn't ask for me to do that. Time, place, setting. And so these are the problems I think that people run into when you're giving your authority outside of yourself to a God. I don't care what God it is. I don't care what the morality is. You're giving this hierarchical being that is outside of yourself a space to control you, to be a scapegoat for you, to keep you that one layer above where you need to be to find sovereignty. And that's why I'm opposed to it, because I don't think you can truly wake up in this space. I don't think you can truly find wholeness if you are still subscribing to these distortions that are out there. And this is one of those areas that people have to break.